Peace, family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about asking yourself, how much have you grown in their space or them in your space? You know what I mean? I asked somebody this question a while ago, right? Because I could tell that things was like, it was like one of those weird, like, energy exchanges where you could tell where it could go somewhere else, but if you're intelligent enough, you can kind of direct the conversation and the energy to a better space and a better light. So when I felt that shift happening, I had asked that question, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, how much have I grown in your space, and how much have you grown with me in your space? And when I asked that question, right, the opposition will have a hard time responding or giving any kind of answers. One, because they can also reflect that the 3D situations that have transpired. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know they need 3D proof, even though they know that they're spiritual beings and they do a lot of weird manipulation shit in those in-between lines, in the gray area. You know what I'm saying? So when I had asked that question, right, I you know, the universe just speaks through us. You know, a lot of times I have shit come through me that don't even be on camera, and a lot of people are like, oh, you should write that down, you should note that down. If the universe wanted me to present it, then, you know, that's when I have to present it. If they want me to present it now, then that's what it is. But, you know, when I thought of that, or when it was sent to me and I was presenting that outwardly, I figured that would be a great tool for people and all of us to use as a talking point when dealing with beings who are confrontational, or they are like highly extreme with their emotions. We're all emotional beings, so I don't like when people say, oh, they emotional. Oh, they emotion, energy, emotion. We're all emotional beings, you know, just depending on where you're at. So that's why I said the ones that's to the extreme, which are usually the ones who's riding with that witchy ass playbook, you know what I mean? But when you look at the question itself, and then you actually time travel back to when you met that being or those beings, and you look at your progression now versus then, you know what I mean? And you look at their progression then and their progression now. What's great about us light beings, right, is that we could get ourselves in some weird witchy experiments and experiences because we have to experience life. You know, you limited to so much you could do without actually putting yourself in the physical experiences, because you need your energy and emotion to actually correlate everything together. But when we in this space and we understand what's happening in front of us, right? We already knew from the beginning that our steps prior will equal up to whatever is happening now, because our prints are kind of visible. You know, like when it's snowing outside, you could follow somebody's prints in their trail pretty easy. Their shit is a lot more scrambled and chaotic. So when these witchy motherfuckers try to do things to keep you in a fucked up space or some confusing, chaotic space, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the times we go back to reflecting and saying, oh yeah, that's our fault. A percentage of it is our fault. But we also understand when we're in our own space, we wouldn't be having all this witchy shit going on around us in that manner. So when, use me as an example because I always do, when you are in that space of asking these questions, right? We always lead with our steps and the facts, so they go hand in hand. So then it's kind of hard to argue and debate it. You know, we can have conversations about it and figure out how we could build on it, but it's kind of hard to argue and debate about it because the steps have already been laid there. So how much have you grown and how much have they grown? This is how you know that it's toxic, it's low vibration, it's negative. And a lot of the times, if you over a certain point, or you've a vocal person and you've already talked about certain things, it's even how you can tell certain things are demonic. And I say that because, like, you was here, I was here, in this space right here, right? This being comes along, we allowed them in our space, you know, knock knock, who's there? Me, come in, you know, alright, boom. So now we are engaged right here. We open the door even though we see the signs, right? This could be friendships, spouses. It could be you re-engaging with siblings, because I got siblings that I haven't always engaged with my entire life, or that I didn't even know of until later on in life. It could be any of these scenarios, right? So now you are in that space of, I was here, now I'm here. Now you're trying to figure out what the fuck has happened and why has this not elevated into this one, you know, or this one pushed up. This one is here, but instead this one started trickling down, meaning instead of me going up when I met this person, I started going downward. And how you can tell, and they started going upward. And how you can tell in these spaces is right, is look at what you have going on. I had to look at what I had going on. For us, right, we always fighting and we always pushing forward. So for us, we kind of like the exception for things sometimes in the spiritual realm, because we just come built with different strength and abilities to maintain and endure some of this witchy shit better than other beings, you know. So when we get to that space of being like, all right, this is my point right here, we're having a conversation, now we're figuring out, all right, where did the decrease, the decline happen at, you know what I mean? And a lot of the times, like I was saying before, like they want us to take fault, which we can to a certain degree, but we also have to be aware there's a war going on and there's beings out here attacking us and doing shit intentionally. So if you are a super self-aware person, it's easy for me to come over in your space, stab you in the back, and then you look at it like, oh man, that's my fault. I shouldn't have had my back turned when that person was coming close to me, you know what I'm saying? It's always going to be some kind of angle we can twist it around to put it back on us, when they did not have to stab us in the motherfucking back, and we still gonna take responsibility for it, you know what I mean? So being in that space of knowing these things, right, here to here, they are going from this to this. They start rising. When you start being aware in these positions, you start knowing. What happened was, I was in a space with somebody, and then I realized, oh shit, I'm dwindling. Like I was doing fine, met a being, I'm doing great, I'm still doing fine, I'm still fighting my fight, but I realized some things in the background is dwindling. While these things are dwindling in the background and me not putting them to the forefront, this being over here is grabbing energy. While they're grabbing energy and they're taking my life force, the other shit that I have in the background is dwindling. So by the time I get around to paying attention, the shit in the background is now in the forefront, and I'm sitting there with a whole nother weird situation that's my shit, because I allowed this other being to suck the life out of me. And how you know they sucking the life out of you is look at how much better they start doing when you start doing the opposite, or you feel that the fight is pulling you more the opposite, because all of us don't always go downward. We get knocked down, we fall, but we always don't go down. But look at how they start elevating and rising. Some of them don't even come into the deeper end of this knowledge until they get with us. You know what I'm saying? They learn a lot of tactics, they learn a lot of things from us. You know what I'm saying? Like, they learn so many tools and tactics to even how to heal and take care of themselves better. Even though they're not going to, they have it to prolong their process if that's what they're gonna do. You know what I mean? And on the other hand, we're doing the opposite. And when you can use the physical representations in your life, that's what's gonna help correlate it and bring it together. And that's what it did for me. I was able to look at myself, and I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going on, and this was running smooth. I met this being, and this should have started elevating when I met this being. Instead, I started giving them more energy. I started slacking over here in these areas. They started doing better and feeling more lively and getting more juiced up and all this shit over here. And my shit was getting pushed to the back burner. You know what I mean? And that's with a lot of us. So we just have to be aware and like acknowledge this shit when it's happening and when it's going on. I don't like to be caught slipping, but I know it does happen. So the best I can do is try to be aware each and every day and be better than yesterday. And at the end of the day, it's like my fight isn't really with those beings. My fight is with the ops in the spirit world and with myself, just beating out my own programming that I've had put on to me. You know what I'm saying? But these are like things that like if you pay attention to closely, if you're giving life to someone and if someone is taking life from you. You know what I mean? Taking life, meaning that you're not giving it, you're being affected by it in a negative manner. I don't give a fuck how self-aware we are. There are beings out here and entities attacking. You know what I mean? So you could flip it around, and we could flip it around and put everything on us because we are that aware to that degree. But you also have to realize, if we're going to be that aware to that degree, then you have to be one of them people who are highly intelligent and reactive, responsive, and you don't operate solely within this matrix. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole lot of things that go with that. But when you pay attention to these things, it makes it a lot easier moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I hadn't run into all my other situations prior, and even though I still took a little bump with this last situation, it's like my energy through the process has been way smoother and better. I still been keeping my faith and my belief in my system and the process and the higher ups. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like, it's a lot of beautiful places we can go to after this. It's not just one beautiful place. You know what I'm saying? It's not just one beautiful location we can be and vibe here. It's multiple beautiful locations. So just understanding that we were somewhere before this and we're going to go somewhere after this. So try not to put too much pressure on the individual situation and look at the bigger picture of what's actually happening, going on. You know what I'm saying? I feel empathetic to these weak ass beings to a certain degree, but I know I slap shit out your ass at the same time too if I see you walking out with a knife. Yeah, we don't play none of that. But I ain't gonna run up too long, you know what I'm saying? Just want to let everybody know, you know what I'm saying? We have to beware of these things happening and that's going on, you know what I'm saying? Because it'll be a lot of times motherfuckers will make you feel like you're at fault for everything. And that's because everything is on a percentage scale. So to a certain degree, you are at fault. I am at fault. But on the higher percentage scale, them motherfuckers ain't have to do what they did. And they don't have to be doing what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And if people are not energy vampires, then they should be compensating and filling that tank up more. You know what I'm saying? If you done already addressed and said some things that you want done and should be happening going on, then that shit should be happening and going on with no other excuses. All that other shit is witchcraft. It's all manipulation, you know what I'm saying? It's all different tactics to show you that they don't fuck with you. They fucking with sucking your energy, but they don't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.